of the things that's been interesting me, and I think will interest our listeners, is, how does a deal work? You and I are working on an exit for a client. I'm not going to name the client, I'm not going to name the business. Let's call him Jack.
But Jack needs succession, has to have it.
He has to have succession, but he's looking at this in a way which is, how do I exit my business and get paid for it?
How do I have my cake?
And eat it too. Right. I mean, you said it perfectly. And this is a very unique situation because you called me perhaps, I don't know, 9, 10 months ago and said, I've got a client who really needs a lawyer who understands how you sell a business, and he's going to sell, this is a sale to 2 key employees, and he needs some advice. And I have never had a deal like this, frankly, that's gone on for 10 months and has had so little movement in which everybody believes that the deal will actually transpire.
Every time I talk to him, he says, I want this deal to happen.
Yeah.
And he tells me he's flexible.
Well,
that might be more skeptical.
but I think what would interest our listeners is, how does this deal get put together?
Right.
I mean, how does it, I mean, we're talking about an entrepreneurial show where people are building businesses, and how do they eventually sell it?
And reap the benefits of all their years of work.
Yeah, because most of the businesses that are being built are really, in effect, service businesses.
I met with an entrepreneur yesterday that's a client, small business, that has no estate plan. And I mentioned about estate taxes, and he said, there is estate taxes if I pass away? I was like, oh, you're kidding. Do you know how many businesses get sold right after death to pay taxes?
People start a business with the idea of making money and eventually selling it. And this is a perfect example of, what you need to think about when you're selling a business. I think in this particular instance, it's gone on a long time, I think because the buyers, who are key employees, have not known how to engage. So, from my point of view as a lawyer, I need to look and see and have conversations either with, the people who are the buyers or my client, to kind of find out what the motivations are. Because the motivations become critical to helping the client have a good sense of where he's going. In this particular instance, I'm not sure that the client is really properly framed. He doesn't have a good sense of what he wants. And I also think that the buyers don't have a real good sense of what they want. But the question is, how does a seller, how does somebody who's built a business for 30 years get out of it, and what should his reasonable expectations be?